Every year I say that the Ironman World Championship is the best field the world has ever seen. And this year, that was particularly true. Every single podium finisher from the previous 3 years was there. Previous champions were in top form. New threats were ready to pounce. And the best 1% of over 250,000 triathletes from all around the world who tried to make it here were faster than ever. Nervous, Mike? The New Wave swim start had the pros starting at 6:25 and athletes went off with cannon and conch blast for the next 65 minutes. Josh Amberger led out of the water, but some of the favorites were right behind with Jan Frodeno, Alistair Brownlee, and defending champion Patrick Lange. After creating a gap in the field right at the start of the swim, Lucy Charles Barkley came out of the water in the lead for the third year straight. On the bike, the race heated up as we saw the best in the world get tested and fail. Patrick Lange lost contact with the lead pack, eventually pulling out. And Daniela Reif, who usually bikes faster than even a lot of the men, couldn't get up to the front of the race. Jan Frodeno and Tim O'Donnell dictated the bike, coming off the lead, but the field was within just a couple minutes. Lucy Charles finished the bike, having grown the gap between herself and the chase pack of women large enough to the point that you thought that her race was locked up. But while the quiet Kona winds led to fast bike splits, it meant intense sun and challenge beyond belief on the run. Jan dropped the pace, and Tim O'Donnell, who's been dealing with a foot injury and hasn't been running lately, actually held on. Sebastian Kienle has been in great running for him lately, and he positioned himself into third place, but the pre-race favorites, Lionel Sanders, Cam Wurf, Braden Curry, Bart Arno, and even two-time Olympic gold medalist Alistair Brownlee started trading places for who was suffering the most in behind those leaders. Whoever was going to get on the podium was going to have to bleed to do it. Immediately after leaving transition, Annie Haug, the best runner in the women's field, went to work and within just a couple of minutes was being named to overtake Lucy Charles Barkley at some point, and it was just a matter of time. The small German eventually passed Lucy, making it look effortless, and then Lucy Charles' place for second was even in question as Australia's Sarah Crowley passed her. But Charles showed grit while Crowley fell apart on the final climb into town. As Jan Frodeno raced into town, he looked at his watch and dug into everything he had after seeing that the Kona course record was within sight. Ran the final mile in just 6 minutes, setting a new course record of 7:51:13. Tim O'Donnell hung on to second for the entire run, and Sebastian Kienle rounded out the final podium spot. Annie Haug crossed the finish line in 8:40:10, making it double gold for Germany. Lucy Charles Barkley had to settle for second for the third year in a row. And Sarah Crowley rallied her way back into town to get the third place finish.
And here she is, what a race! Last Barcelona, Sarah Crowley, Australia!
As the award ceremonies went on, new faces in the professional lineup crossed the finish line, sending messages over to those on the podium that the game was stepping up. But familiar faces also crossed that same line to let us all know that they're not ready to give in just yet. The pros finish around 2:30 in the afternoon. But imagine 10 hours later, still being out on the course. In the dark.
Good job.
Just trying to make the 17-hour cutoff. But there's light at the end of that tunnel, or should we say at the end of the chute, where the finish line party is in full swing, welcoming home the very last athletes on the course. It's a celebration every single year led by beloved race announcer Mike Riley, who in the final 20 minutes was still working the crowd to bring in the final 30 triathletes still out in the dark. Like 73-year-old Leif Johnson from Sweden. And double leg amputee from the US, Rajesh Durbal. Who even made men's champ Jan Frodeno take notice. And others prove it's never too late and you're never too old. Like 80-year-old Warren Hill from New Zealand. 75-year-old Richard Weinbrandt from the USA. Or the very final finisher for 2019, 80-year-old Al Tarkenton, who crossed the line just a couple of minutes before the cutoff. Whether you sprint, jog, or walk, it's all about crossing that line and being the best version of yourself that you can be. And with that, this annual celebration of athletics and the human spirit comes to a close. Thanks for everything these past couple of weeks, Trainiacs. Let's look forward to 2020, doing great things and being our best versions of ourselves.
Oh